All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. What a freaking victory against the Green Bay Packers. I understand it's preseason, but hey, 30-10 in legendary Lambeau Field. I will take that, especially understanding the context. Aaron Glenn's first game as head coach, Tanner Engstrand, the new faces. Looking at Green Bay starting some of their big-time players, the Kenny Clarks of the world, Tom, Love, all these different guys. The Jets look like they freaking belong, man. And look, if you're a fan, again, it's preseason. They didn't really accomplish anything as far as the regular season's concerned, but as far as this, introductory showcase for Glenn, for these schemes, for Justin, I thought it was really like, how much more could we have really asked for? We got one drive of Justin Fields. It was awesome. Went right down the field, 10 yards, 10 plays, 79 yards with a touchdown. Justin Fields making plays through the air and on the ground. But let's talk about a couple of main takeaways here. I think really the first, for me, is the intensity in which every single player, offense, defense, special teams, played with, right? No matter if it was in the first quarter, fourth quarter, first down, third down, coverage on a punt. It could have coverage on a kick. Didn't matter the area, the aspect of the game. Everyone was flying around 110 miles an hour, foot slammed down to the gas pedal, playing like how Quincy Williams plays on a normal Sunday. So awesome. Quincy Williams is my favorite player on this team because of that reason. He reminds me of these old school early 2000s linebackers that aren't afraid to hit, aren't afraid to come up and make a big play, aren't afraid to just trust their gut, trust their instincts, and go lay someone out or charge for an interception or drop back into coverage and make a play there. Not afraid to do the dirty work. And it really just felt like a lot of times last season, guys were kind of confused on where to be, busted coverages. There were some moments where guys would literally get out of the way of the ball carrier and just stick their arm out to try to go for an arm tackle. And, of course, that never worked out. But in any case, just in this game, I think it was a really, really positive sign because that was such an area that, to be quite frank, it pissed me off so much last season. So much. It just felt like that's completely gone. And again, it's preseason. Who knows what'll happen during the regular season? Personally, I think it's just only going to ramp up from here. But really, really nice to see, right? That whole area for now eradicated. Love that. Absolutely love that. That fires me up. Like if you could get all these guys playing on that just fast and physical level, all of a sudden the defense, like I'm talking, it could be anything from a tackle to closing speed from DBs, safeties coming down into the box to help out and run support, linebackers charging downhill to help out in the run game right when running backs break through that initial contact. Defensive tackles flying around. Like when you have everyone playing like that, the defense just looks completely different, and it all of a sudden feels like this living, breathing beast of a defense. Like you have 11 guys on the field, but it's moving as one. Really. That's what you want. That's what the elite defenses show. Right, when you can play this collective style on defense. And look, on offense, guys were the same way. I mean, you could talk about Justin Fields, Stone Smart, Armand Membu, Donovan Edwards, Brandon Smith, Skinner making a play, Adrian Martinez, Olu was awesome. Olu was awesome. And I guess we can transition to the offensive line. If you go back and like whether you DVR the game or you just want to pop on highlights, I guarantee you that if you don't focus on anything else, if you just watch Olu, you will be impressed. The kick out speed, the strength in the running game, he looked awesome. And then you kick it over to the newcomer, Armand Membu. I mean, he was absolutely fantastic as well, going up against Kenny Clark, handling his business as far as like the strength and size goes. I mean, just did not look like he was pushed around whatsoever. Sometimes you see early in preseason rookie tackles come in once these games actually start, and we're not talking training camp practice, but you kind of see this like initial shock, like, whoa, these guys are like, I'm playing against grown men here, grown men with big time strength. But Membu, I mean, Kenny Clark is legit one of the best defensive linemen in football, and he was doing his thing against him. And even in the running game, right? Like he was opening up holes. I'm just relieved that the Jets finally invested properly in the tackle position, going after two young guys, two guys with just enormous ceilings, enormously high ceilings in Olu and Membu. They're so young, tons of production at the college level. Both guys got better and better and better, and their trajectory is just going up. And it's preseason. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself here. Armand Membu's amazing. He's this top 5 right tackle, right? Obviously not, but just purely based off of the, small sample size, he looked like he belonged. He does. So from a first string showing, how can you really look at that and be disappointed, angry, with the offensive line doing what they were doing, with what Justin Fields did, what he did, Tanner Engstrand getting plays in and out. The offense was just smooth sailing. Again, 79 yards, resulting in a touchdown in Lambeau against the Packers starters. That to me is a win. I understand it's preseason, but I don't care. That is progress. Think about what the mood was. All these reporters talking about Fields is shaky, incompleting passes, this and that. I think once the games actually start and it's not this disjointed, hey, this is the running game and then let's focus on the passing game, and this is one offense and it's going to work in synergy with one another, I think the passing offense will be fine. I'm not saying it's going to be great. I'm not saying it's going to be elite. I'm not saying Justin Fields is going to be, this top level quarterback. But I think he can do enough to take care of the football. I think he could do enough to win games for this football team. I think the situation and the environment for Fields makes sense from a schematic standpoint, from a personnel standpoint, from a coaching standpoint, and also to a mentality thing. Like one of my favorite things about the New York Jets, what they did this offseason, was moving off of, and I'm not purely talking about the player here, but moving off of Aaron Rodgers and kind of the circus that comes with that, the finger pointing, the drama, the storylines, the stuff that happens throughout the week, the McAfee show, whatever. You're putting that behind you. You're putting that in the rear view. And who knows? Aaron Rodgers could go out and throw for 40 touchdowns with the Steelers and have this incredible season. But just to focus in, like, for example, too, because this kind of goes hand in hand with the Rodgers thing. I was getting like a lot of texts and messages last night. Shedeur Sanders looked like really, really good. Jackson Dart looked really good. Do you regret that the Jets passed on these guys? And, pretty much my response to all the, the text, it was, whether I wanted these guys or not, I don't think the Jets were going to make the move because I don't think the Jets wanted the distraction, might not be the right word, but just kind of the circus, the media chaos, all the eyes on you, spectating everything, monitoring everything you do, every single throw, every single movement, every single quote, every single press conference. I just don't really think they wanted that. And if they had the opportunity to avoid that, they were going to take it. And I think with Justin's kind of mentality, his approach, his leadership style, it's been quiet, it's been head down, it's been one of the guys, which I really, really like. I mean, you don't hear a negative thing about Justin from other players. You don't hear him throw guys under the bus either. And at this stage in Justin's career, he's been through the ringer a little bit. He's dealt with multiple schemes. He's dealt with multiple coaches. He's dealt with multiple teams. He's seen, some high moments and seen some low moments. You're getting this more mature, more polished version of Fields. And I know he only went for one drive here, right? But I all I'm saying is I think Jets fans can go to sleep saying, hey, you know what? That was really cool. If the offense can look like this on Sundays, I think we're going to be in a pretty good spot. Pretty good spot for the most part. But yeah, the first team, Andrew Beck, freaking all over the place, middle of the field, turning around and getting up the field really, really quickly, right? One problem that you typically see with fullbacks is speed, right? They have power. They like contact. That you can give them the ball in tight situations, goal line, fourth in inches, third in inches, stuff like that. You can kick them out wide in like West Coast schemes, throw passes to them out in the flat and watch them like get it up, take it upfield. All of a sudden you have this bowling ball in the open space where defenders aren't really practicing against a guy like that. Like the fullback, you have numerous advantages too, but one of the areas of concern with fullback is, again, that top end speed, but also acceleration. How quickly can they how quickly can they shift through gears, essentially, right? And Beck, man, not only was he catching passes facing the quarterback, because these passes that he was catching weren't like in stride, where he's streaking down the field and he's catching him over his shoulder, or, you know, he's cutting across the middle of the field and he's catching him like that, and all he has to do is turn his head and he's, you know, cutting. These are right over the middle of the field. I think in both cases they were standstill, so he's stopped. He's catching the football, has to turn around and speed up, and in both cases he really accelerated quickly. And that could be huge, because right now, who's the best quote-unquote blocking tight end that the Jets have? It's Beck. Now, of course, Mason Taylor's hurt, but if you can put Beck in and he can be effective through the air, right? He can catch passes over the middle of the field, he can get upfield quickly, whatever. You know, Tanner Engstrand has experience working with the fullback position, looking at his coaching ties. Jim Harbaugh, a big proponent of the fullback position, to say the least. But if you can get a guy like that involved in the passing game and you know he's going to block, not only is that just beneficial, like, yeah, sweet, it's an extra thing that he can do, but it also puts the fear in quotations, in defensive coordinators' heads. It's just one more thing that they have to worry about. It's not just, oh, Beck's out there, this is a handoff, he's a blocker. Or, oh, he lines up at the tight end position, this is going to be an outside zone run, he's a good blocker. No, he can actually hurt you through the air. He could go out and catch a pass and actually look athletic and make a play. So very, very pleased. Very pleased there. Some other standouts on the offensive side of the football. I felt like Skinner made that huge play at in my opinion, a critical time. Brandon Smith, sticky hands. I mean, and he's someone who a lot of people have been talking about so far in training camp. Donovan Edwards, man, this dude looked fast and physical, not only just as a runner, but when he caught that pass and got up the sideline. I mean, he looked great. He looked great. You know the Jets want to run the football too, man. Is there a situation where the Jets maybe keep 4 running backs on the roster? I don't know. I don't want to get, too far ahead of myself. Trying to predict the 53 after one preseason game, but I could maybe see it, but definitely a practice squad candidate, in my opinion. We knew this based off his college career, but yeah, very impressive stuff from Donovan Edwards. Braylon Allen looked amazing. There was one moment where he kind of got upfield. I think it was like a gain of maybe like 10 or 11 or something. He lowers the shoulder. He just bulldozes this Packers defender. I believe it was number 39. Drops the shoulder. 39 just falls literally on the turf, face down. Just, coming into that tackle, he's thinking, all right, I got him. Post tackle, he's like, why did I do that? I instantly regret that, right? So Braylon Allen's just gonna be this freaking force, this physical force. I mean, just thinking about the 1-2-3 combo between him, Breece, and Davis, all kind of giving you something different. I cannot wait to see what the run game is going to look like at the end in the regular season. Really cannot wait. But I also felt like Josh Myers handled the starting center position pretty well. But yeah, from offense, pretty smooth operation. Brady Cook, when he had protection, he looked solid. He looked decisive for an undrafted free agent playing in his first preseason game. I was impressed with Brady Cook. The ball was coming out pretty quickly, threw some wobblers, but hey, Peyton Manning threw wobblers. As long as it's there where it needs to be, I'm okay with it, especially given the context. Adrian Martinez, been a couple years in the NFL, so a little bit more expectation from Martinez at this stage compared to Cook, but he was out there moving the ball, throwing darts. No picks from Martinez, no picks from Cook, no picks from Fields. Impressive stuff there. Again, smooth sailing on the offensive side of the football. Defensively, you could just go down the list of all the. Cisco looked humongous. Cisco looked great. I felt like Tony Adams had a solid game as well. Sauce, I felt like looked good, had the penalty, but who cares? It is what it is. You're not going to be perfect on the first week of preseason, although Gardner in the past has had a penalty issue. We'll see if it continues, but it seemed like it was a pretty tightly called game anyway, for what it's worth. Leonard Taylor, Tuafele, McCray Ball had a really, really nice play. Stiggers had a couple of really sweet plays. But overall, the defense just played as a unit. They played fast. They were physical. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but just from top to bottom, all 4 quarters, they showed out. They came to play, and it was impressive. It was impressive. Yeah, we have expectations that this defense is going to be good. It's going to be a defensive-led team, but yeah, I think to see that amount of continuity, that amount of focus, knowing where you need to be this early is a very, very, very good sign for what this Jets defense can become when Pittsburgh comes rolling into town week 1. So we still have, get this, I still think we have over a month before the regular season. Think about all those reps, practices, meetings, team meetings, joint practice, 2 more preseason games. So many opportunities to get better. So I am absolutely thrilled with what we saw. So anyway, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you guys. Let's freaking go. The Glenn era starts now. As always, go Jets.